Βενεζουέλα, Ιράν, Γρυλανδία. Τρεις τοποθεσίες σε εντελώς διαφορετικές γωνιές του πλανήτη βρίσκονται στο επίκεντρο των εξελίξεων. Κοινός παρανομαστής, οι Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες. Ο Αμερικανός πρόεδρος Ντόναλντ Τραμπ αλλάζει θεαματικά τα δεδομένα στη διεθνή σκηνή, γεγονός που προκαλεί έντονες ανησυχίες σε εχθρούς αλλά και σε συμμάχους της Ουάσινγκτον. Σε συνέντευξή του στο euronews, ο πρώην αξιωματικός της πολεμικής αεροπορίας των ΗΠΑ, συγγραφέας και σύμβουλος του State Department για θέματα εξωτερικής πολιτικής, Τζέικ Σωτηριάδης, ανέλησε την ατζέντα του Λευκού Οίκου.
Mr. Soteriadis, welcome to Euronews and thank you very much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for having me.
What does Maduro's arrest mean for Venezuela and the broader region of Latin America?
Look, this was the most significant projection of American military power in the Western Hemisphere since Panama in 1989. And I think it really demonstrated two things simultaneously. First, that the United States possesses unmatched operational capability. Delta Force extracted a sitting head of state from a fortified military compound in under 3 hours with 0 American fatalities. No other military on earth can do that. And secondly, and perhaps more importantly, it demonstrated political will. President Trump's shown that he's willing to use hard power decisively, but smartly. Surgical strikes rather than protracted land wars, which is a significant message to every leader that's watching.
So you are talking for a message to China and Russia. But how do you interpret the fact that Putin did not react strongly to this event?
The next 60 days are really critical. We know that Vice President Rodriguez faces an almost impossible balancing act. She's got to accommodate American demands on oil access and then avoid conflict with Washington, while also maintaining credibility within the Chavista base, the military, and also the socialist networks that kept Maduro in power. So if she can thread that needle, Venezuela can stabilize in the short term. But if either side of that equation fails, we could see internal fracturing, maybe even factional violence or further American action. I think it's pretty clear that the Trump administration is not seeking regime change here, but compliance, and they've shown they'll escalate if they don't get it. Let me respond to your question about the messaging to Iran and Russia. I think that each case is different, but the logic is the same. The American administration is sending a clear message to its adversaries and its allies alike that the United States will use its hard power deliberately to achieve its national security objectives. And clearly there is there's clear messaging for Iran and Russia here, as well as other malign actors, that the United States will not hesitate to intervene if it is necessary to do that.
Let's change continent. We are moving to the Middle East. Iran is in turmoil. Do you think that the regime will change?
This is a really important question, and it's one that the administration is paying close attention to right now. President Trump has said that help is on the way. He's warned the Iranian regime to stop the violence against the protesters. And Iran is a particularly complex situation because the protests already have killed, or the regime has killed about 2,000 protesters. President Trump has threatened military action if this crackdown continues. At the same time, Iran does have retaliatory capability in terms of striking at U.S. bases in the region. They also could look at closing the Strait of Hormuz. But of course, their proxy network is severely weakened after the military campaigns of 2025. So I would say that at this point, it looks like the Iranian regime is cornered without many good options.
Mr. Soteriadis, as we conclude this interesting conversation, I would like to ask you about Greenland. Why is this country becoming a critical geopolitical point for the US, Russia, and China right now?
Well, Greenland is important for several reasons. First, geography. It basically controls access to the Arctic and the North American continent. And so that geographic position is strategic for American security interests, which is why the US have a military base there, and they've had it since the Second World War. The second reason is critical resources, so rare earth minerals that are on Greenland. Those are critical for everything from smartphones to batteries for electric vehicles to military hardware. And so China right now controls that market, and the United States is looking to Greenland as a source of additional rare earth minerals to try to change that equation. And then, of course, the third issue is the great power competition. Russia has become much more active in Greenland or around Greenland in the Arctic writ large because of the melting ice caps. And so we're seeing much more increased Russian naval activity. And of course, China has also called itself a near Arctic nation. And so for all of those reasons, the United States realizes whoever controls Greenland is going to not only control the resources, but also the geographic access for its strategic interests in the future. And this is right at the heart of American national security strategy in the 21st century.
Mr. Sotiriadis, thank you for your time.